Okay, hello everyone. We're live. A little bit late, but we made it. Got chatting in the background again. But thanks for joining us, everyone. Yeah, so let's get going. Of course, we don't have the big Dave Mack with us today, but we do have a great lineup. We've got Marwin from Mike the Carnivore Odyssey. We've got the lovely Limitless Lindy again, and Joff, the RN Carnivore. Okay, so Marwin, do you want to kick off and just tell us a little bit about your channel and who you are?
Well, I'm a 56-year-old mother of one teenage son and the other one's 21 in June. I don't know where the time's gone, but anyway,
Mm.
I have a husband who, we do very well at driving each other very crazy on many occasions. He's very supportive. I was born in London, but I've been out here in Australia now since I was 13. So I kind of consider myself more of an Aussie more than anything, really, to be honest. I've been here a long time. I've been a carnivore since the 1st of January this year. I have to date lost 55 pounds. That's
Wow.
55 pounds in the bank towards my future because that's 55 pounds I'm never going to see again. Thank you. Um, my channel, I do weekly weigh-ins every Monday. And then, say on Thursday, I do a random video that could be about anything, up to and including me having a rant. I sometimes get
Yeah.
on my I can't really say that I get on my soapbox anymore. It's more like a meat tray.
Fair enough.
So one gets
I
on the
love
meat
it.
tray and sometimes has a bit of a say about certain things that I observe and, yeah, I try
Mm.
to be as engaging as I
We,
possibly
we all have
can
a
and
bit of a rant here and there.
mm,
No,
so
absolutely. We sure do.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's me. That's
yeah.
me.
It gets to you some days, so you sort of just have to let off a bit of steam, I think. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, how about you, Lindy?
Yeah, Lindy here. I'm from Melbourne. I'm 52 and I have two daughters, 21 and 33. And I started carnivore 2 years, 4 months ago. I was around just 350 plus kilos and no mobility. Like I basically walked from the hallway to the bedroom, and that was about it. A pretty dark place. I had one foot in the grave, ready to give up, and came across Dr. Berry's videos and thought, I'll give this a try. I failed every diet and lap band surgery as well. Failed that. I had that at 25 and didn't work for me. So this is my last hope, and I'm now down to 124 kilos, and yeah, still going, still keeping strong, and my life has been transformed thanks to
Yeah,
carnivore. So yeah,
yeah, that's an amazing story. It really is. That's just can't believe how much weight you've lost. You've done such a great job. Well done.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Jeff, you want to tell us
Right.
about yourself?
Yeah. My name's Joff. I am 32 years of age. Have been on the carnivore diet now for about 2 years and 6 months. So I am a father of two. I've got a beautiful wife. My whole family support me in what I do, what I eat, and they're getting there. They are getting there. We are an animal based family, I would
Nice.
say,
Nice.
but certainly for myself, the reason for me getting into this way of eating, really, I can summarize it in one word. It was desperation. I was a very unhealthy 30-year-old at the time, and I was ready to just try anything that I thought was going to work. Looks
Yeah.
like I got lucky. Looks like I did get lucky, and I'm glad the YouTube algorithms pointed me to the likes of low carb down under, Professor Bart K, Ken Berry, um, and that's where it led me. So yep, as my title of my YouTube channel is labeled, I am an RN. I'm a registered nurse. I work in healthcare, And my channel is basically me talking about my experiences in front of a camera, share a couple of my thoughts and the things that I've learned, but never giving out medical or nutritional advice because I'm not qualified. But I am also studying to become a health coach. So I'm working towards not just helping people inside a hospital, but also looking to help people change their lifestyles outside of that so that they don't become my patients. I think I said that last week too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Marlon and Geoff, is your husband, is he carnivore as well?
He may as well be. He has since I've started, the meat consumption in the house has raised somewhat. But like the other day, he went to the local supermarket to pick up a few things for myself, and I went into the kitchen and I noticed in the bags that hadn't been unpacked a couple of boxes of shapes. And I may or may not have seen a couple of bottles of lemonade. So I said nothing. I waited. I always wait to strike. Wow. And so he was out here with me yesterday, last night. And I said, whose bright idea was it to buy the shapes? And he went, I just fancied it. Oh, okay. I said, were you the same person who thought about buying the lemonade? He went, I said, okay, let me make something absolutely clear here. If you're going to have a bellyache, I don't want to hear about it. Oh, I didn't do that. I said, the other day when you came home, you'd had a bottle of Mountain Dew and you stood there, right there, and said, oh, well, my guts are feeling it a bit. I'm like, no kidding. I said, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear you grumble about what you're putting into your body when I've told you, don't touch it. But he is eating more meat, so I can't swings and slides. But yeah, that's where I let people do what they want, but at least they're eating more meat, which is a plus. I'm grateful for that. And there's not a vegetable in the house, I'm pleased to report. And the only fruit that's in the house is apples, because my youngest, he's having a bit of an issue with giving up his apples. He likes his apples.
Well, it could be worse. It could be chocolate bars or something like that. So.
Oh yeah, it could be a hot. There's always room for worse. Whee! Yep.
That's it.
How about you, Geoff? Is your wife on carnivore as well?
Oh, look, she's I would probably say more keto than carnivore. Moments of, there are periods where she actually goes full carnivore. Like today, actually, she was carnivore today. She ate what I was eating. Yeah, but some days are a little bit different depending on, if she's at home with me, she's got no choice but to eat a good old steak. And yeah. But she is pretty low carb.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's the main thing. I mean, a lot of people still keep, even the ketogenic diet. If it's a clean ketogenic diet, it's still healthy. So as long as you keep away from that processed garbage, keep your deuterium down and things like that. I'm curious. Actually, I was just thinking about deuterium poisoning and things like that. What do you guys do for water?
Well,
I have a filter.
Sorry, you first, darling. No, you first.
I have a filter in my fridge, so it's got the charcoal filter, so we just laid up on that, and that's how I drink my water. But I don't drink a lot anyway, so yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I drink for kind of a treat. I have the bubbly cans of drink if I want something with just that little something flavor. And but we have a Stefani 3-level filtration thing underneath the sink. That's only been in there for about 3 weeks now, and that's where we get our water from. We've got a little tap that's on the side, and makes such a difference when it's filtered just that little bit.
Yeah. I mean, they're like reverse osmosis filters are fantastic.
I'd love one.
Distill your water. Yeah, distilled water is a great way to drink it, and as long as you should put like remineralize it, because they do take out all the minerals as well as the all the heavy metals and the fluoride and stuff. But if you like a good like grey mineral salt or something like that.
Yep.
It helps to remineralize the water.
Yep.
How about you, Joff? Do you filter your water?
I do. I have a fridge filter, and that's my go-to. Sometimes I go if I'm out, if I need a drink, I'll get the Evian, because I'm told that the Evian bottles of water are, they're more expensive, but they're
Oh, they
lower in
taste good.
deuterium. Yeah, so that's me. I could do more, to be honest, but I think for now, it's more convenient just to do it that way until I can get a proper
I
filtration
think
system.
that's kind of a tricky thing when you're out and you need a drink of water. That you have to be careful. Like one thing you should stay away from though is plastic bottles. Because the PFAs, like they'll and a lot of the big brand ones, they have just as much fluoride in them as tap water does too. So that's another thing you need to sort of steer clear from as well. But if you get one of the lower ones, the lower fluoride ones, then they're pretty good to get in a glass bottle. And like carbonated water is fantastic too.
Oh yeah,
You
I love
gotta get that
carbonated.
carbon into you.
Yeah.
So your body feels great if it really aerated it when you get that CO2 into you. So here's a good one. I drink rainwater. Yeah, I go through a filter. I make my own bubbly water with a large CO2 bottle and adapt it on hose.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I think Adley's out in the countryside a bit, so it's good. Like my folks, they live way out in the country too, so it's all rainwater. So just all on tanks. They have like six big water tanks to for the whole place. So, but filtering that and carbonating, that'd be good. There's like soda stream machines you get. That'd be pretty cool. I haven't done that actually, but I've been thinking about that recently. But but I was talking to Dr. Sarah Pugh the other day, and we're talking about deuterium levels, and I mean this is one of the biggest things that we need to sort of look out for. Like up to 200 units like of deuterium, like a body can handle per day, sort of thing. So anything under that is good, which is so great. Which is the great thing about the carnivore diet, because it is so low in carbohydrates and low and therefore low in deuterium. Fat is very low in deuterium as well. So it's good. Where you see that's one thing that you just don't get. Like if you have, I know a lot of people still use supplements. Supplements is another reason why I don't like supplements, because the deuterium level is quite high. Vitamins, minerals, protein powders, all those, like so-called keto-friendly processed foods and whatnot, and fitness industry foods as well. Like protein powders and that, they're quite high in deuterium because of the soy content as well, or oil content. Yeah. So just one of those things you should be on the lookout for. And as we always say, read the ingredients and so on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what's the next subject, guys? What should we talk about?
Oh.
I've got one.
You go first.
All of a sudden, crickets.
I've got a topic that I want to ask you guys. If you guys have any experience on this, but it's in two parts. Number one, the carnivore priming. The carnivore part. If you guys have heard about it, or if not, fasting or prolonged fasting, and anyone's experiences with that. Because for myself, I've done fasting when I first started the carnivore diet. It did well, and I did lose a fair amount of weight. However, I haven't actually fasted for over 2 years now. And when I mean fast, I'm talking over 24 hours and above. But has anyone got any experience or any tips on how they do fasting?
Yeah, well, priming is Raymond Nazon's sort of brainchild. He's from one of the coaches at the Steak and Butter Gang, and I'm part of that as well. So I've done a lot of priming and fasting there. So yeah, but priming is basically like if you're new to carnivore and all that, it's just a way to reset your hormones and re-nourish your body. Like for me, 350 kilos, you'd think I'd be full of nourishment, but I was far from it. I was so malnourished. And just priming really sets you up and gets all those hunger signals working, all your hormones regulated, and puts you in a state like it's usually a 2-week fast, but it is different for everyone. Like if I think Bella primed for 6 months because she's come from a vegan background. So she needed a lot longer. So it just resets everything, gets you to a level that then you can start to fast. And it's not a white knuckle fast. If you're white knuckling, you're doing it wrong. You shouldn't be white knuckling a fast. You'll have a little bit of hunger, but you're not ravenous and want to eat your pillow and all that kind of stuff. So it is a fantastic tool just to get everything regulated, get to the point where those hunger cravings, the cravings that we couldn't get rid of, are gone. Once those noises stop in your head and things like that, you can just continue, start the fasting or just eat normally. Like I don't eat like 3 meals a day, like by the clock anymore. I just eat intuitively. When I'm hungry, I'll eat. When I'm not, I stop. And it might be a 24-hour or it's different every day, and I just eat intuitively. And that's because priming's allowed me to do that. And occasionally you get into patterns where you undereat, then you do like a little mini prime. So 3 days, you just eat 3 meals, mini prime, and then you can go back, and it's kind of ramps up your metabolism again and gets things kick-started. So, yeah, so a lot of benefits to it. So.
I had this. You started fasting like when you first started carnivore. I think I tend to tell people not to fast when they first start. I think what they should be doing first is trying to get as many nutrients in as possible to sort of heal their body, and then maybe later, like a year into it or something, then you can start doing fasting. Like Lindy said, you should you prime first. When you might even find that even without priming, you get to a stage where you just don't feel like eating. I've done that before. Like I've done it like a 36-hour without, just don't feel like eating because I've got enough nutrients in my body that I just didn't need to. I didn't feel hungry. So that sort of comes along a lot later. But if you like Lindy said, there's no need to white knuckle it. Don't force yourself to fast. And you should eat as much as you can before you start if you are, especially if you're early into it. So yeah, I mean you don't want to eat good cells, like good protein cells, so like if you are white knuckling it, usually what you'll be doing is breaking down muscle tissue and bone tissue because the body is starving of proteins. So it will try and get them from the stores. The easiest source to get them is the muscle cells and bone cells. So, but if you are well primed, you have enough nutrients there that you can just survive on fat stores. Then you're as much healthier for your body anyway.
So when I started beginning of this year, within about 2 or 3 days, I remember sitting in the kitchen and I was doing the whole bacon and eggs thing. And I'm like, oh, this breakfast thing is going to get old real fast. And it just, for me, it happened naturally. I've been 1 meal a day for, well, I've been on this 15 weeks now. I've been OMAD for 14 weeks out of 15. I honestly, I'm just not hungry, and, I have that 1 meal. I enjoy it. And there's been times where I couldn't finish. Like last night's dinner was hamburger patties. I had a couple of those with 3 fried eggs. And I probably left about that much of the second hamburger patty. I could not get any more in. I just couldn't.
Mm.
Well, that's
But if it's
Awesome.
working for you now and you're losing weight and you're hitting all your goals, doing that. But if things start to slow down or stop, then that's when you may need a mini prime. So do a little
Yep.
bit of a prime and then, just to ramp up the metabolism. I know Todd, he was OMAD for like 7 months and then everything stopped. He started getting really
Wow.
tired, stopped losing weight. It was like he hit a brick wall. And that's when I met up with him and he came into SBG gang. He did some wicked priming, like he was eating lots of meat, like huge quantities. And he was getting on the floor, playing with his dog. He wasn't able to do that. And he was another pretty, big person and he had strength. And now he's just kicking goals. He's doing so well and he primes them fast. Like he's doing it 84 hours feeding and then fast for 84 hours. And he's not white knuckling at all. He's doing so well. So, yeah.
You have to be careful too, not to over fast as well. Like you don't have to fast too long. And it's something you need to sort of play around with as well, sort of work out what's good for you. But like there are going to be points where, especially when people first start, they tend to undereat, like Todd was doing. Of course, he was losing weight because he was so big, but it wasn't sort of, and it took like, when, like Lindy said, like after 7 months, he realized that he was not eating enough because you still need food, the nutrients to give you the energy for the activities that you need to do for the day. So
I know that mine will change. I know as my activity increases, it'll change.
Yeah, you have to eat a lot. When your activity changes as well, you need to increase your food.
Yep, absolutely. I'm prepared
for it. Thing. Yeah. So it's something you just need to, as you go, it's all an adaptive thing. How much protein you take in, how much fat you take in, it's all adaptive to how you feel and how much activity you start doing and things like that. Yeah, because there's a number of reasons why you will stall. Like, for example, when you get your protein, you work out how much protein. So, for example, you do, say, 1 gram per centimeter in height. That's your bare minimum, okay? So that's the minimum amount of protein you should take in for the day. Then you got to add in like things for ethnicity, because different ethnic groups will utilize more protein or less protein than others. Then you've got to also add in activity and age. So, for example, if you are active, then you'll need to add more protein. If you're not active, then you don't need to. As you get older, your dietary protein is more difficult to turn into muscle protein or energy proteins. So then you need to intake more protein. Okay. And all through this time, your main energy source is fat. So whatever you take in protein-wise, I think you should take double in fat, right? Because that's what you'll be using for energy.
For energy, yeah.
So there's a number of different things, but you just have to play around with it, and you're going to have days where you if you keep eating that way, you're going to have days where you just don't feel hungry, so you don't eat, right? And then just listen to your body. It will tell you exactly when to eat and when not to eat. So, and there's a lot of great benefits to fasting. Like fasting will stimulate the body to produce more stem cells, for one. And of course, it helps with autophagy, but other things that help with autophagy is sunlight, okay, and cholesterol and exercise and just being outside, grounding or exercising, just movement. That really helps with autophagy, okay. And there are other ways that you can get similar benefits without fasting, such as, if you, for example, like some people will fast deliberately to bring down the levels of glutamine that you get from the meat. But you can also cook your meat well done and get the same benefit. So there are times where you don't need to fast, and there are times that you may want to fast. So it's just something you'd have to play around with. And don't be afraid to experiment. Like, it's go on how you feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I felt like with priming for me, getting into, like, I wouldn't have been able to get into this period of fasting if I hadn't primed. I did it for 10 days, and that's how long it took for me to gear myself up for fasting. And it worked well.
Yeah, well, that's good. Some people might, like, I think Todd, he did it for he primed for like 3 weeks or something before he first started like a 5-day fast. So it just depends on how you feel, I just find that a lot of people, when they start carnivore, they tend to try and fast too soon without priming.
Yeah.
They sort of, they white knuckle it, and then they sort of feel sick and low on energy, and then they sort of just think that, it's not working for me, sort of thing.
Yeah.
How do you know when you did enough priming to start fasting?
Well, Steak and Butter Gang, they predominantly put everyone on like a 2-week fast, and then a prime, and then they might just put in a day, like a nomad day or something, and they gradually increase it. If you start white knuckling, you can't do those little steps, and you will need to prime some more. And so you really need to be in the community, and they sort of walk you through it and guide you through it, and you can ask questions. So it's the best way if you're struggling is either to sign up for a coach or to go through SBG Gang. But there's lots of things to look out for, but that's kind of how they do it. And you just got to go by how you feel as well. Yeah.
I think if you can get through the fast comfortably, if you can fast like through the day comfortably without feeling like you have to eat or need a snack or something like that, then that's how you're going to know that you've primed enough. Okay. It should feel pretty comfortable to fast. Okay.
Yeah.
You shouldn't feel uncomfortable at any time, really. Okay. You might, the first night's sleep, you might think, I feel a bit hungry, but it's kind of more of a habit than anything. But generally speaking, you should just feel comfortable not eating.
For me, after 10 days, I couldn't go any further because I followed the 2-week priming protocol from SBG as guided by Professor Bart K. And so he was my coach. And I felt like after the 10 days, I knew that my body was ready for it. I just felt replete. And it was just an N = 1. I just needed to give it a go. If it didn't work out, then it didn't work out. It happens to be that it worked out well for me, and I did it for a couple of weeks. And
I don't sort of set myself a timer. Like, if I just don't feel like eating, I just won't. So I just let my body just fill up on the nutrients, and then when I don't feel like eating, I'll just let it go. I just listen to your body. I don't really plan my fasting, but everyone's different, and they all have different goals as well. So I did 96 hours once. It wasn't too hard, but then after doing a few 36-hour ones, I got the wobblies. No more fast for me for a while.
You need time after your fast and re-nourish your body because you're depleted. So
you don't want to do it too often either. Like, some people, I know some people do it like weekly or monthly or something like that. But you can do it that way, but you have to, like, on the days that you are eating, you have to eat like a lot of food. So it's kind of like you're priming for, say, 4 days a week and then fasting for 3 days. It's a lot of work, I think.
Yeah.
Off the mark, some gains. Off to make some gains. Good man. Hit the gym. Yeah. Okay, bubbly water is acidic and dead water. Best natural spring water. Yeah, natural spring water is good. But it's always good to feel the. I like the bubbles. I like the carbon. It's good. Yeah, let me see what we got. Most people eat for entertainment. Yeah, marketing, cultural, and distraction. Most people think, yeah, you're right. I mean, most people. I mean, if you, especially when you're watching TV, it's all that subliminal messaging. You know, someone orders a pizza on TV, and you're like, oh wow, I feel like a pizza. Let's have pizza tonight. You know, it's just the way we are. Yeah, so it's good. Just don't turn on the TV.
I haven't watched commercial television in years.
No, there's nothing good on it anyway. You haven't missed
Nah.
anything.
Nah, nothing.
No. Introductions. Oh, I'm sorry, Graham. You missed the introductions, mate. We've already done them, but good to see you here, mate. This granny is starting carnivore for the first time. Any advice?
Hey,
Good.
dive right in, darling. Dive right in.
Yeah, absolutely. Depends on. I think the first thing you need to do is work out whether or not you can moderate or not. If you can't, I think just go cold turkey. Get rid of everything. Get all the carbs. Get rid of the sugars. Get rid of anything that's processed, and just go full fatty meat. Okay, make fat the priority. Okay. No oils either. No cooking oils. Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah, I've seen some carnivores recently. They're like, I've got rid of all my processed foods and stuff, but I like to cook in olive oil and I like to cook in this type of oil and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you're shooting yourself in the foot. It's like these oils, especially, all these bottled oils you get from the supermarket and stuff like that, a lot of it is all mixed too. It's not a pure cold pressed olive oil either. And 90% of it is completely mixed with, just disgusting, ghastly stuff that you shouldn't be eating anyway. But stick to the tallow, stick to like a good clean butter maybe, or but tallow, animal fat is the best thing to cook in.
Absolutely.
If I could add anything for Glenda in terms of advice, anything at all, before you even put any steak into your mouth, I want you to sit down for 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe, just quietly on your own and think about your why. Why are you doing this? And once you've got that why, I want you to have it in your belt of tricks and carry that why with you throughout your whole journey, because it will help you keep tethered to what you need to do for yourself. So that would be the only thing that I'd say before you even stick that fork into a piece of steak. Think about your why and have that in your belt o' tricks, darling.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, it helps when there's always going to be a temptation. You go out shopping, even if you don't have anything at home, you have to go shopping sometime, buy food. So there's always going to be a temptation, and it's made that way. Supermarkets are geared. You go to the soup, even the cash register. There's all these chocolate bars on there because they want you tempted.
Yeah.
So it's always good to remember why you're doing it, and just remind yourself that these foods they're not food. You know, they're poison. They're going to set you back, especially if you have a goal in mind, any kind of goal, whether it's small or major. These foods will hold you back. They won't help you progress. So it's always good to remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Right from
Because
Toowoomba.
when you do get to that place where when you're shopping and you're inundated by all this stuff in your face, the cereal, the everything, the chocolate, the all the things, you know, it this is why I feel that the why is really important, because when we do something like this, we are always on that very, very fine line between, oh, am I going to eat this? Am I going to have this bar of chocolate? Or am I just going to go, no, stuff you, I'm not going to touch it. It's a fine line. And I feel we need to be able to really tap into that why, because when we do, and we've got it firmly in our bodies and we know what we're doing with that, then we can stand on that fine line with absolute confidence. And you will eventually be able to turn a blind eye. You'll have tunnel vision. You won't see all that stuff. It takes training, but I think if you've got that why in your belt of tricks, it'll really help as you stand on that fine line, because you will. Let's face it, we all will. We all have, but it's how we stand on that fine line. Are we going to do it confidently, or are we just going to go, no, I'm just going to buy it and eat it later? That's what I believe.
And we all slip every now and then. Like,
Yeah.
Don't be too hard on yourself if you slip. That's not a big deal. But make your next meal carnivore. You know.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Don't wait for next week. Do it next meal. Yeah.
Yeah. Just to feel better about yourself anyway. Okay. Hi from Toowoomba. 2 weeks into this diet, severe osteoporosis and RA, hoping for some healing.
You'll get
good
it.
luck with that.
Get it.
Yeah.
2 weeks in. You just started. Yeah.
Yep.
I think it doesn't matter what situation you are in, or where you're coming from, you can always improve even a little bit, and this is a good start. Your diet makes such a big difference, getting rid of all the processed foods and having real whole food. It may not cure everything, okay, but it will improve it. You will always improve, okay. And the longer you do it, the more improvement you will see, okay. You just got to trust the process, trust that your body knows more than what corrupt, ignorant doctors and everything else says. It really does.
2 weeks in, wait till you get that mental clarity, darling. Woo!
Yeah. The euphoria.
Oh yeah.
Getting fat adapted. Oh,
it's exciting stuff.
Like a drug.
A little bit.
I mean, I can't think of it as a diet. Like, this is lifestyle for us now. This is the way it needs to be. Like, if you go off plan, like you said earlier, next meal is carnivore. You don't spiral and get into trouble that way. But this is our life now. This is how we need to eat.
I mean, feeling good is addictive.
Yeah.
And you want to keep feeling good. So why would you go back to eating garbage from like the standard Western diet sort of thing? Or the fitness industry promotes, or any other sort of large body sort of promotes. Why would you go back to that? I mean, nothing, no cake or no chocolate bar or protein drink or anything like that is ever going to taste as good as you feel when you're on carnivore.
No.
No.
So,
and if it does taste good, you feel it the next day. You feel it. You feel the repercussions the next day or the day after. Sometimes longer.
Yeah. I mean, like, we all test ourselves from now and every now and then. You have a bad cup of coffee, or you have some ice cream, and like some days it'll take weeks for that feeling to go away. I had some ice cream when I was in Japan. I was like, afterwards, I was depressed for days. Just one of those things. Hi guys. So I am ready. I am finally ready to give up coffee on my carnivore journey. Very good. I just learned it depletes electrolytes. Yes, it does, because it's a diuretic. What do you guys drink that is warm?
Bone broth.
Any bone broth, Josh?
Yeah, pork
Anyone
bone
else?
broth.
Yeah, I
Pork
do
bone
bone broth with butter in the morning, and I just buy the powdered version. I'm too lazy to make mine, so it's it's all grass fed with extra collagen in it, and I just add a bit of butter, a bit of salt, and I have that in the morning. And I've also started having another drink because I'm not eating a lot of meat at the moment because got a lot of stress and the meat's not going down. So I've been doing like sort of eggs, and I blend 4 to 6 egg yolks. With a tablespoon of tallow, tablespoon of butter, and top it up with water in my NutriBullet, bit of salt and hot water, and whisk it all up, and that's beautiful. It's like it's a nice fatty drink, and it's sort of getting a bit of nourishment into me because I'm not able to eat much meat, and that's really, really nice. It's like a really soothing, comforting custody drink. So that's been a really nice change. Definitely nice for a light meal at night or when you don't want to have a big, heavy meal.
No, that's good. Then.
Yeah.
Well, how about you? What do you drink that's hot?
I do drink coffee. I mean, I can see a time. No, I'll admit it.
Me too. Yep.
Everybody does their own thing. I do drink coffee, but I do know that with the winter coming, that I do want to make my own bone broth. I really, really do. And you mentioning pork bone broth. Num, num.
Pork bones are the best. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I really would like to try and at least say I've made my own bone broth once, even if it's just once. But yeah, I do want to try it. I really, really do want to try it. And I think that will probably happen because bone broth with some beef mince in it as well. Now that's a soup I can get behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I take my ground beef out of the freezer and I stick it in my slow cooker and then just add a ton of water and let that go for like 3, 4, 5 hours and a bit of salt, and there's so much broth in that, and I just scoop it into my mug and I drink it. So you got it's all broken up into little beef pieces, heaps of soup. And then if there's too much meat, I just keep adding more water, heat it up, continually makes broth, and I love that. Especially with winter up, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
Yum.
There are 100 names for sugars and 60 names for seed oils allowable on Australian food labels. Yeah, that's right. They don't want you to know what they are, so they have come up with all sorts of different names and numbers and stuff like that. So if it's got more than 2 ingredients, don't eat it.
Well, my son actually sent me a picture. He was going to buy this. I won't say the product, but it was packaged as a protein drink. So he had the presence of mind to give me a picture of the front of it and the side with the ingredients. I said, now, he said, what do you think of this? I said, do you really want me to tell you? He said, yes. So I'm asking. Honestly, by the time I'd finished, it was like I'd written a Harvard paper. I mean, the stabilizers in it. I mean, just the most shameful way to package protein. And I said, at the end of the day, conclusion is you're better off cooking up a whole pile of bacon until it's nice and crispy, put it in a plastic bag a Ziploc bag, munch on that through the day. Honestly, if you're going to have protein, have some meat, for crying out loud. Just get rid of that stuff. Because
that's the thing, and like the fitness industry is one of the biggest killers, behind the medical industry, and supplements. All these things they're full of seed oils and sweeteners because these food scientists they have worked out that a perfect combination of these of fat and sugar are highly addictive, and fat and carbohydrates together is what makes you fat. Right? But of course, they got rid of all the fat and they've replaced it with these cheap seed oils, these machine oils, and they're getting rid of sugar. It's basically all these artificial sweeteners, which does the same stuff. But you know, this combination is just absolutely toxic. You know, they are really toxic to the body. And
it's
you know,
ridiculous.
the fitness industry labels it all as health food. And there's so many health foods that, you know, foods that are labeled as health food. Like I even saw today a vending machine that had healthy choices in this vending machine. And, you know, some of it's Coca-Cola. You know, you got to be kidding me. You know,
What?
Sounds like a hospital, actually.
The same, yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. It sounds like a hospital, doesn't it? And things like Oatly milk and things like that.
Funny
That has
because it's
as much
true.
sugar and
Did I
seed
say
oil
that?
as the rest of them.
It's funny because it's true, Geoff.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know it's true. I know it's true.
Yeah. The Baroness of Beef. Hello, Alicia. How you doing?
Alicia.
Hi.
Hello, darling.
Yeah. So I mean, these are things I got to follow up on soon because, you know, these so-called health foods. We actually did. I think Linda, you probably remember we had a look at Milo during the Australia Day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
missed that part. I came in late on that one.
Oh, that's right.
I bet that was an eye opener. Looking at the ingredients of that.
Yeah, you should have a look at the stuff in that. It's shocking. It is
That
horrible,
is toxic
rancid stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, it's been promoted as a health food since the 60s. You know, like, and you have the, you know, Australian athletes promoting it and so on. But it's utterly disgusting stuff. Yeah.
Can you imagine eating that in the mouthfuls too? Like I was chewing on Milo as a kid, just by the by the spoonful.
Yeah, I used to have a Milo sandwich, you know.
Yeah,
on top of ice cream. Oh,
yeah,
ice cream. Yeah,
imagine that.
Yeah, sprinkle some Milo on top of ice cream. So, yeah, as if the cereals in the ice cream weren't bad enough. You could have the topping.
Oh yeah, of course. Always has to have topping. Oh
man.
Yeah, we've all been there, folks. Oh boy, have we all been there. Yikes.
Yeah, and it's still tempting, you know, like when you go out and you see ice cream and things like that, it's still tempting. But you got to remember,
salted caramel ice cream was my weakness. Salted caramel ice cream. Oh my God, do I miss it? Yes. Am I going to eat it? Hell no.
That sounds like us. I used to have 2 drops of milk and half a tin of Milo. Yeah.
That's too much milk in your Milo. It's too much.
Way too much.
Way too much. As we would have said back in the day.
If it's not mud when you're stirring it, then it's not strong enough.
It's not mud. I love it. I love it. It's true.
Yeah.
She used to drink Ice Magic. Remember that stuff?
Oh man.
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah.
We used to have thumb in the ice cream and then fill the thumb hole with the Ice Magic and then have it go over so you get that nice chunky thick bit in the middle. Yeah,
I'm with Baroness. I do that
too. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you know, it's liquid chocolate, but when you pour it onto your ice cream, it hardens up into this solid stuff. And no one thinks twice. No one thinks, there must be something in this that's making it do that.
And there you are with your spoon going, this is fun.
And it doesn't melt. You know? So you think, let's crack it and eat it with the ice cream. Yeah. And then chuck Milo on top of that, eh?
Yep.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But, you know, like I said before, it's just everywhere, advertising, and they say, the healthy choice. And they actually,
I love Baroness.
When they first marketed Milo, it actually said on the label that it was really like a superfood. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was one of their marketing things on the label, as they marketed it as a superfood. It's so healthy. So shocking stuff. I'm surprised. Actually, I'm surprised you made it out of. I made it to adulthood. Actually, the food that we used to eat. It just that again shows you just how resilient your body is. You know, all the crap that you could feed it all the way up to adulthood, and you're still here. It's amazing.
And
Uh,
I don't know though, because these foods. Oh, I don't know much. I'm only a baby carnivore, but these foods were never designed to kill us quick.
Oh no, that's
no,
right. No. They want you dependent on the drugs, so it
Yep.
kills you slowly. That's what that's something I always say. Is like they've got us dying slowly enough that we think we're living.
And they're getting
Yeah.
away with it.
Yeah, and they get away
Mm.
with it. It's shocking,
Yeah.
isn't it?
They do.
Don't even get me
Two packs
started
of,
on
two
that one.
packs of Tim
Oh,
Tams.
yeah,
The good Tim
I'm
Tam
in it.
Slam.
I'm with her. I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The old Tim Tams were pretty good.
Mm.
Well, they tasted good, at the time. Not so much anymore. Yeah, that's another good thing about the carnivore diet. Your taste does heal as well. Your taste buds heal.
Yeah.
It's the same as the rest
Yeah.
of your body. This stuff just doesn't taste good anymore.
No, I
when
can't
drink
stand the
it-
smell of bread. That's the one thing I can't stand. Fresh bread?
Neither can I.
No,
Oh,
I can't.
I must admit, I don't like the smell of supermarket bread.
No. Oh,
My wife likes to make homemade bread, and that gets kind of tempting sometimes.
does it?
It's pretty rare. So
yeah. What
when
is
I
it with the sense of smell? I had
Mm.
Yeah.
something very strange. No, about a week ago, my eldest son, because we haven't had Pepsi Max in the house since the 1st of January, he decided he was going to buy his own bottle of Pepsi Max. And I said, "Can I smell it?" And I sat here and I smelt it. I'm like, wait a second. I said to my husband, has it always smelt like this? He said, yeah. He said, why? What are you smelling? I said, chemical sweetness. That's all I can smell is chemicals.
Yeah.
Pretty
It was
much.
and I used to put away that stuff like it was going out of business. I
Mm.
couldn't believe the smell, the change in the smell. It's like,
Mm.
wow, you couldn't pay me to drink it now.
Yeah, that's right. It's amazing. Just the smells when you go to the supermarket now as well. I've noticed that all I can smell is chemicals.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Mm.
Yeah.
And just walking past a restaurant, you smell all the seed oils that they use. All
Yeah.
I can smell
Oh, yeah.
it makes
Yeah.
the stomach churn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus those oils are. They've been used so many different times as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the time they get to the food that you are eating, they're just not just the fact that they're shockingly bad oils anyway, but
Reheated.
reheated. Yeah. Just
There's
yeah.
donut places that do that. When I was carrying my second child, they opened up another section of our local shopping center, and I thought it was just, the pregnancy brain going boo. But the smell of that reheated oil, I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't stay in that part of the shopping center. And even to this day, I was actually, before I even started carnivore, I was actually going off the smell of the oils like olive oil and
Mm.
all those vegetable oils. My nose was really just going, I really just cannot handle that smell anymore.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you think about. I had a friend of mine who's a chef, and he explained to me sometimes. Like expensive restaurants will sell their old oil to the other restaurants, and that's how they sort of go. They pass them down the line, and as they get worse and worse and worse, they just keep passing down this old oil until like sometimes it's been used like in 10 different restaurants for months at a time each. So it's absolutely just rancid stuff. You
That's
just do.
terrible.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah, it should be illegal. So that they use it, then resell it, use it, resell it, use it, resell it, and it just keeps going.
That's insane. How can that be legal?
Yeah. Yeah.
My
It's a
God.
health food, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
you know.
Oh yeah, it's healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's disgusting stuff. It's I mean, it's not just the big food industry that's sort of doing this. Restaurants try to get the cheapest stuff they can to try and make a profit as well. And people they just don't think about consequences of that sort of stuff as well, because it's all about calories. What a
And
crock.
profit.
Yeah.
I'm with you. What a crock.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, supermarkets are like colourful carnivore doom.
I love her. I'm just saying, love Baroness of Beef.
Yeah, she's good. Yeah. Yeah, actually, we spoke to her the other day.
That's where all the
That's where the
flavor.
flavor is.
Oh, I could say a lot, but no, I won't.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, the sad part is like these are food practices. People just, yeah, they don't understand. This is what makes people sick, and they have no. I suppose they just don't care, or they just don't think about it. It's like the same with us with the ice cream and the Milo. We never thought about or why that magic chocolate stuff would just go harder all of a sudden. We just didn't think about it. But unfortunately, it's just the way it is. But luckily, I mean, it's a good thing now people are waking up to it, and that's why we're all here. We're all sort of waking up to the fact that we've been lied to, we've been fed a bunch of garbage, and we're trying to fight it. So,
Yep.
Yeah, but it goes to show that we're talking about this before, DC, how far the indoctrination has really penetrated towards our society, because we're very much, no matter, I don't know about you guys, but if I do ever get into a conversation about someone, talking about seed oils or sugar or carbs, it becomes sometimes people just nod and shake their heads and yep, it's all good, but sometimes it's a big hard wall saying no, this is what we've always been taught. I know you look like you're doing well, but at the end of the day, I mean, hello, the doctors are saying cut your cholesterol and your fats down. It's so far into society that it's going to take, for me, I think it's going to take generations for it to just shit
Oh,
off.
yeah, for sure. Especially when it comes to something like this, because we have like so much of our society is revolved around, like entertainment is revolved around food. Family gatherings and even just sitting at home watching TV. It's all about what you're eating for dinner and snacking while you're watching movies and things like that. Plus, our entire food industry is all the processed stuff. It's very when you think about the percentage of real food compared to the volume of processed garbage from the food industry. It's like less than 1% of it, compared to the junk that people eat.
The indoctrination. I mean, my husband. I mean, he's done his own little bit of research, and he's like, whoa, it's really right in there. And like you said, Joff, it's going to take generations to get. I mean, my husband, when early on, he had kidney stones, and between there was about a month's gap between his first scan and his second scan, and when he went back to have the checkup, because of the increased meat, his kidney stones are gone. And I mean, he was arguing with somebody who said, "Oh, but you've got to eat your vegetables." And then me, being me, was in the bedroom by the front door, said, "No, you bloody don't."
Oh god.
So it's there, it's everywhere, and it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing because I know that it's going to be right for me. And if you guys catch up, great. If you don't, Not my problem.
Mm.
You know, you can
Yeah.
lead a horse to water, you can maybe shove their face in the water, but ultimately you can't make them drink it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, this is all we can do. All we can do is show people what we're doing, how it's helped us, and whether if they take it on board, then that's great. But not everyone's going to be going to want to do that. So, oh, good day.
Very wise lady said to me once. A very wise lady said to me once, Lindy, lead by example.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's all you can do. You can't force people to change the way they eat or think, or a lot of people just don't understand what's going on either. It takes a lot for people to sort of wake up to what's going on.
Yeah.
When you do though, expect to feel cheated, expect to feel wronged. You'll be like,
Well, they should.
and you'll be angry. I was furious. I was like ropeable. But
I think
part
people
of it.
should be though. I think, like, for me, I'm in two minds. Like, I'm just happy that I have it now. I'm happy that I'm doing so well, but I'm also and we should all be very pissed about this because we've been lied to, from every angle. Our education, growing up, these so-called governing bodies that are supposed to protect us, that we've supposedly set in place to give us the best information. Even our academia is supposed to give us the best information that we can find. Yet they've done nothing but lie to us. They've sold, they sell information to big corporations to tell the people what they want to know or what they want them to think. Our mainstream media, everything is all geared to set us up for failure. To make us sick, to keep us dependent, to keep us stupid, and so we should be damn pissed about it. We should be. If this alone, people should be rioting in the streets. But with everything else, I just can't understand how that country's still going. What the hell is people just don't see what's happening.
Yeah.
So
Shame.
yeah, I agree. We should all be pissed about it, and but we should also be grateful too that we are pretty much ahead of the curve as well, because we know what's going on. We are doing something about it, and we are healthy ourselves. So there is that too, and I'm very grateful for that as well. I'm grateful to have my life back, or to have
absolutely
a second chance. To have a second chance at life, is a very rare thing, and that second chance is you're not sort of starting again because you have more knowledge than you had the first time. So you're sort of going to a new place, a new life, and I love that. I'm interested in the why. Why did you all choose carnivore? I know DC had super bad health issues, but could you all touch on your biggest reason for going carnivore? Well, I think we did touch on that at the start, but if you want to explain some more, that's up to you guys. If you want to do that,
ladies first.
For me, I just wanted to be here for my daughters. I had one foot in the grave, 350 plus kilos, no life.
There's a big foot.
Big foot, yeah. And it's like I hit my 50th birthday. I'm like, my kids are still young, and they're going to be without a mother if I keep doing what I'm doing. So I had to make a change, and it was difficult, but I pushed through, and with a bit of help and support from SPG gang, I was able to get my life back. I'm now mobile again. I've got a car. I can fit behind a car. I'm doing stuff. And my daughters are so wrapped. They've got their mum. We do girly trips on, every month we go out and get our nails done, do all these little things. I haven't been a mum for a long time. I was in a really bad place. So my girls were a big why, and just I want to be here. I want to be here playing with my grandkids one day. I'm hoping to be a grandma one day. So yeah, that's my why.
Yeah.
Me,
That's a great why.
I was just, I mean, I'm on a walking stick still. I've got issues. Biggest I've ever been, I was like 229 kilos in February a couple of years ago. And that's the biggest I've ever been. And I mean, just my physical health was just declining so badly. Something had to, you go on all these diets and you throw them at the wall, hoping that something is going to stick. But for me, this time around, it was like, no, 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 no. Whatever it is I do has to stick. That's just the bottom line. It's something drastic had to happen because I want to go to my mother was an opera singer. I want to go to the opera again. I want to go to an orchestral concert again. Heck, I'd even like to go to the darn movies with my husband. But I can't do any of that. I mean, I could, but damn, it would hurt and I'd suffer the next day. I want to do that without having to worry about, oh, is there going to be a seat big enough for my bum? How far is it from the car to the restaurant? All these things that you have to think. I'm like, no, that's just not living. That is not living. I cannot do that anymore. I haven't got the energy for it anymore. So we need to put our energy into something that is going to change that equation. So
yeah, that's a good point. A lot of people say that this is a restrictive diet, but what's restrictive is being stuck at home. Being stuck in bed, not being able to move,
100%.
not being able to go out and enjoy your life, not being able to say socialize or just enjoy the day. That's restrictive.
Yep.
I think if anything,
that
this
is not
liberating.
a life.
Yeah,
No,
it's not a life.
Nope, not even close.
Yeah. I mean, I was stuck in bed for 5 years, and it took me longer to get out of bed, and it took me years more to sort of get back into moving and going to the gym and things like that. But just to be able to move is a wonderful feeling. When you've spent years stuck in a position where you just you can't. I mean, you can't even I couldn't even move 2 steps from my bed to the bathroom. So it's a big deal to be able to do that again. So it's that's restrictive. Living like that.
Yep, it really is.
Yeah, I hate when people say it's a restrictive diet because, like, I look after a lot of, patients who have seen the repercussions of, all the damage that's been done through, unhealthy eating. And, some of these patients have been, type 2 diabetics for decades and have lost a limb. I can't think of anything more restrictive than not having a leg yet both your legs being chopped off. Like, that's restrictive to me.
Yeah.
I see that like on a daily basis, and I guess that sort of links in with my why. Like, I could go back to eating standard Western diet because I have achieved what I wanted to achieve. I got my health back to where it was, but at the end of the day, my big reason of sticking through is because, well, I believe this is how we were designed to eat. This is how we are supposed to eat. And so you can't for me, I can't deny that. So to go against what my biological design is means, I'm just going backwards, and I'm going to end up in the grave one day sooner than later. And so I'm sort of I'm stubborn. I don't want to go back into the norm.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing that we have to leave behind. This is, like fat and meat is the proper human diet. That's it.
Yeah.
Everything else is man-made garbage. That is, and the thing is, we're clever enough to sort of make our own food, but stupid enough to eat it.
Mm.
And that's been the norm for us for so long. But again, it's because these corporations, they pay for the education, they pay for the studies, they pay for the advertising, everything that these people have done to us. I used to think that it was mostly my fault because I really didn't do enough work to focus on my nutrition. I just followed what I learned in school. What I learned in college was that, the three major things is lean, green, and marine sort of thing. So low fat diet and high protein diet. But that included a lot of processed foods. The fitness industry labels these protein powders and things like that have all these oils and sweeteners and things like that, and flavorings and garbage like that. So I wasn't getting enough animal fat to sort of keep a healthy lymphatic system, and I was poisoning it with all this so-called healthy food, and the body can't recover. You're just depleting it of nutrients as you go, and it just doesn't work. And I think whether it manifests in things like blood cancer like mine, or it manifests in obesity for other people, the thing is, it's damaged mitochondria, and it's deuterium that damages the mitochondria. These seed oils are very high in deuterium, and analytic acid and linoleic acid, and just the completely wrong fatty acids, the completely wrong proteins, and everything that we've been fed is just toxic. So, like I said, we should be pissed at the whole lot of it. And our governments, our so-called representatives, they're not our leaders. I don't ever think of these people as leaders, because they are supposed to work for us, not the other way around. Okay. So there's so much in our society has to change, and it's going to take a long time to do it, unfortunately.
It is. I don't know, something's just popped into my mind and it just made me go, oh, wow. Just in terms of how long, we've been sitting in front of the television. I mean, who as a kid would watch a cartoon of Popeye? What was his
Spinach.
da 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 spinach? Now, if Popeye was a real person, I'd shudder to think what his oxalate levels were like.
Yeah, that's right.
Ooh. But there we are. You've got kids on a Saturday
Yeah,
morning.
it wasn't even fresh spinach. It was tin.
It was tinned. Yeah, it wasn't the fresh stuff.
Yeah. So
And it made him strong.
yeah,
It wasn't the ribeye. No, not the ribeye.
that's the thing.
No,
Yeah,
it was the
we
spinach.
look at children's cartoons and things like that now, and we think, well, wow, this is just indoctrination into this garbage sort of culture that they're doing. But if you have a look back, if you watch all the stuff we used to watch when we were kids, you'd be shocked. You realize, and you look at it now and you think, holy shit, really?
Yeah.
It's like, no wonder, And
Better eat your spinach because it makes Popeye good and strong.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
then Fred Flintstone had the dino ribs and the big, the big
He
steaks.
did, yeah.
And he was
Flintstone's got it right.
Yeah, he was this big.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
was
Big and fat.
shaking poopy with their big subs and bread, and he's just like a little rake.
Uh-huh.
It's all backwards.
Oh,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Scary thing.
Yeah. And unfortunately, people are programmable. You can program people. You can
Yeah.
indoctrinate them into the beliefs that they have. But the good thing is that we can reprogram ourselves, and that's what we've been doing.
Yep.
By taking responsibility for what we ingest. It's not just about what we eat. It's about what we watch, what we read, what we listen to, as well. It's everything that we just take in. Whether it's food or anything else. So yeah. All right. Well, we've been going for a little while. Geoff, who was supposed to
I
finish
was.
off
I know. My wife just
an
said
hour
to me,
ago?
just said it's all good. Kids are still
Oh,
fine.
okay.
So
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
yeah.
All right. So
Just take your time. She messaged me.
yeah.
She's watching, so she knows. She'll message.
Hi there.
Yeah, Klaus says eat the bugs. Yeah, the WEF and that things like that.
No.
I mean, they're actually using bugs as fillers now. So, like, this is another thing that people need to. This is why I keep telling people read the ingredients, because the calorie chart is a distraction. All right, just how many calories, and when they, like the fitness industry is really bad for this too. They have a list of all these vitamins and minerals that they've added to these things, like cereal. You look at the box of cereal, Kellogg's cornflakes, to say, look, it's got all these vitamins and things like that. These are chemical added so-called vitamins. Okay, your body, it's poison anyway. Your body can't absorb them. It's complete garbage. It's complete lie. And a lot of these ingredients that you get, like in health food, so-called health food, they have all these so-called vitamins and minerals and everything like that. Like I said, are just chemicals. But it's also you have things like cellulose. Okay, cellulose is basically wood pulp, and like grated cheese, for example, is another one. It's full of cellulose. So it's also a filler for some yogurts and some dairy and stuff like that. So have a look at anything that's got cellulose in it. This is wood pulp that you're eating. Now when I say wood pulp as well, think about what they add to wood pulp is they also use glues. Okay, so these are chemicals and things that they actually add to your food, and these thickening agents and things like that. So it's just absolutely and the reason they don't want you to see this stuff, and the reason they give change the names to numbers and things like that, it's because they know that if you knew what was in it, you would not buy it, you wouldn't eat it. And that is reason enough to be pissed, and certainly reason enough to not eat it. Okay, but they're doing the same thing with bugs. Okay, they're already using bugs as fillers for many foods, such as Doritos chips, corn chips and things like that. They have bugs as fillers, and many other brands of food that targeted as to kids as well. So and we are not here to eat bugs. Okay, a lot of they cause just as many problems as the oils and other things that we've all been eating our whole life. So like I said, anything more than a couple of ingredients, don't eat it. It's
Well,
disgusting.
if you're in a pinch and you need to have fire starters, Doritos is going to be your go-to.
Yeah, for a fire starter. Yeah,
for a fire starter.
Yeah.
Have you ever lit one of those suckers?
No.
Yeah.
No. Oh,
Well,
really?
yeah, that's right. Because I mean, yeah, like a lot of those ingredients are very flammable. Like a lot of people don't know
I can
this,
imagine. Yeah.
like even like some of the artificial flavorings, 9 out of 10 actually come from petroleum. So they're actually petroleum-based flavorings.
Yep.
Okay.
That's true.
But there's
That is
also
true.
even flour, like just flour, just plain white flour, is highly flammable. So if you just chuck that on and light that up, you'll have a campfire in seconds.
And cheese. Let's go with pre-grated cheese. And the chemical they use the anti-clumping chemical they use, that's petroleum based. We haven't had pre-grated cheese in our house for years. I found that out, and I'm like, heck no, we're going to be grating our own.
Yeah. But like a lot of medications and things like that are also petroleum based as well.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And supplements, vitamins and minerals, things like that you buy to try and get healthy. So that they're really high in deuterium. They're full of petroleum-based sort of chemicals. They're also very high in these binders like soy, for example, and other oils. So all of these oils are all petroleum-based. Most of them anyway. So it's horrible, and they get away with it. Or they have been until now. They have been getting away with it. So. These are things that we have to change.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't want to keep you off too long. How about some life hacks? What are things that you three do on a daily basis, or at least a weekly basis, that help keep you in tune?
So I follow Bart K's 5 health hacks. I follow them all. I'm wearing my blue light blockers right now to block off blue light. I sleep on a grounding sheet. And I also try to stay grounded during the day as well. Like I try to cook outdoors if I can. And so, I kill 2 birds with 1 stone with that. I get my natural sunlight and vitamins that ways. And so that is and then I do strength training. I'm also taking cereal products. So pretty much doing all 5 of them.
Very good.
Wish you could do more.
Yeah.
You leave me. I'd love to do all that kind of stuff, but I haven't. I've just started rebanding in the last couple of months, and that's been a game changer for me from being very sedentary. Now doing a little bit of rebanding, it's been wonderful. So that's been helping out. But I'd like to get out a little bit more, definitely get a bit of sunshine, but winter is here. So I'm not looking forward to that. But I'll be in Texas soon, and it's apparently very hot, so I'll be out in the sun getting some sunshine there. So looking forward to that. But
that'd be good.
Yeah, rebanding's the new thing for me at the moment.
Yeah, movement is so important. It really is. We are built to move. Your lymphatic system is proof of that, because it requires muscle contraction to move that lymph fluid around your body. So when your body, and when you don't do it, you get so many problems, like lymphedema, for example. I actually saw someone today. You can see I could see when he was walking, he's actually wheeling an oxygen tanker behind him because he couldn't breathe properly. It was quite large, not as large as some that I've seen, but you can see the discoloration in his calves. And you can see that he's obviously diabetic, and the flesh, when your flesh changes color, it's really red. It's not getting circulation in his legs. It's obviously doesn't move enough, and has a lot going on. It's kind of sad. I want to say to him, like, look, if you want to be healthier, but people, if you just approach people like that, they don't really appreciate it.
And the thing is, though, if you're telling somebody, like for me, I couldn't even give you the list of things and tips and tricks that I follow because I'm still sedentary. To tell somebody that you've got to move more when you're in pain, like my first thing I want a vibration plate, because I'm just nowhere near that point of, I feel like I can move all the time. But if you go to a doctor, they say, just less calories and move more. Who in their right mind is going to want to move if it freaking hurts?
Well, there's that. I mean, there's a number of reasons why a lot of people are sedentary too. Depression's another thing. It's very difficult when you are depressed. you just don't feel like getting off the couch or getting off the
No,
bed.
you don't. You
Yeah.
give up.
Yeah, and to say like, oh, you just got to get up and get outside and get moving.
No,
It's
not that simple.
so much more to that. Like
Mhm.
I think the first thing you got to do is fix your food.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
It
Yep.
gives you a whole different outlook. So, like, my number one life hack is just to eat a natural, real food diet. That should be everyone's number one life hack is the carnivore diet,
Eat
because
meat.
that's what you're built to eat.
Yeah.
Eat your species specific food. That's it.
Yeah.
That should be everyone's number one.
Yep.
And deep breathing is another one, because like deep breathing exercise. When I couldn't move, I couldn't even breathe properly because my muscles were so tight and so like dry that I couldn't even breathe properly. So that was the first thing I started with, was deep breathing exercise. So that's my number two life hack. There are other things that, like, of course, things that came later, like exercise, obviously moving, lifting is a great life hack. It's something that I want everyone to be able to do. But for me, that came much later. And, there are great things like, like I said, I don't endorse any kind of supplements, because they are, like I said, they're not what you think you're buying, for one. But there are good products like the cereal products. They're what I would call a dietary enhancer, not a supplement. Because you don't need a supplement on the carnivore diet. If you have a good mix of meat and a good mix of fats, then you don't need anything really. But you can enhance anything really. So that would be like part of number one, is to have a good mix of meat. Mix your meats. I like seafood. I like beef, pork, and lamb. Lamb especially. If you can't get much seafood, like here is not real good for seafood, unfortunately. But lamb is fantastic. It's high in omega-3s and other things that. So I think you need more than just beef. But sunlight and grounding are also another couple of I don't think they should be called life hacks, but because it's our natural way of living. We are supposed to live. We're supposed to be outside. We're supposed to move and all that sort of stuff. But I suppose these days you would call it a life hack. But grounding, getting yourself grounded to the go to the beach if you can, or just go outside, stand in the grass. Your wet ground is better. It's, you have more electromagnetic energy going through your body. But the sunlight does so much for you as well. It really activates a lot in your body. Stimulates the vitamin D production of your cholesterol, and it does so many other things for your electrons. It just gets your brain thinking as well. So, I'd love to do like an hour a day at least, if you can get as much sunlight as you can. But these are the things that I think really help me, and I think can help anyone really. I'm 9.5 years in remission from a cancer that I've been stage 4 twice. They told me I'll be dead in 2 months in 2012. So they work, So let's see.
Sure.
Any
guys, I think I'm gonna have to duck
advice?
off. Sorry, guys, I'm gonna have to duck off. I've just got a message. So
No worries, mate. We're gonna.
I'm gonna go.
Yep. All right, mate. It's great having you.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
See you,
Hi, John.
See you next time.
Okay. So, any last words of advice, ladies?
Oh, I say the same thing every time. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Just don't focus on the scales. Think about your health first, and just don't worry.
Yep. What Lindy said, just don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
Remember
Like
your
we
why.
said, like we said, it's a very simple way to eat, and it should be simple. it should be the next easiest thing to do to breathing. So it's just eating. So
Great.
all right. Well, that's all we've got time for tonight, then, guys. I thank you all for joining us. I really appreciate, especially all our regulars that keep coming back. I hope you're getting something good out of it, and we'll see you all again next week. All right. Take care, everyone.
See
Bye,
ya.
everyone.
Bye.
Mwah.